So YouTube have recently done something weird, which is they banned and then unbanned Talk Radio. So Talk Radio is very generally very right wing. They have a load of clowns on. Um, People like Julia Hartley Brewer, I think that's her name. Her in the middle, and the Sidemen crew behind her. Um, Not the actual Sidemen, but just generic Sidemen. And so I had the original article from the BBC, but I think they must have updated it on the sly to this amended article. But anyways, YouTube has reinstated Talk Radio's channel on its platform after hours after saying it had been terminated for breaking the tech firm's rules. It said the broadcaster posted material that contradicted expert advice about the coronavirus pandemic, but explained its U-turn, saying it sometimes made exceptions to guidelines that state repeat offenders face a permanent ban. Talk Radio said it has yet to be given a full explanation for the affair. The decision to ban Talk Radio has had appalled digital rights campaigners, with one group, Big Brother Watch, claiming it was evidence that big tech censorship is spiraling out of control. And to be fair, they are right, and that's something we'll talk about towards the end of the video. The Google-owned service had issued a brief statement explaining its actions. Talk Radio's channel was briefly suspended, but upon further review, it has now been reinstated. We quickly remove content flagged that violate our community guidelines, including COVID-19 content that explicitly contradict expert consensus from local authorities or the World Health Organization. We make exceptions for material posted with an educational, documentary, scientific, or artistic purpose, as well as was deemed in this case. And so YouTube, by the looks of things, haven't actually said what the offending video was, what the offending statement was, or anything like that. They decided to take this channel down. They said they suspended it, but they could have taken down the video if they wanted to. So I think this channel was taken down. And then once they realized, oh wait, this is a big company, we might get in trouble for this. Let's back up a bit. So, three strikes. So YouTube has not published details of the offending post, which they really should do. YouTube and the other social media companies need to be more accountable for the decisions they make. If, for example, they ban someone, or they decide to demonetize things like that, YouTube has to give a reason as to why they have been demonetized or taken down. But independent fact checkers have repeatedly challenged some of the claims made by interviewees featured on the London-based radio station. YouTube operates a three strikes policy whereby channels that break its community guidelines 3 times within a 90-day period can be permanently banned, but other infractions lead to temporary restrictions. And in this case, YouTube should have hit them with a strike and said specifically what the issue was with the video. I understand that YouTube has a lot of bots and things like that, but it needs more human people to actually look over this stuff. YouTube is making decisions about which opinions the public are allowed to hear, and even when they are sourced to responsible and regulated new providers. Talk Radio said in a statement this evening. This sets a dangerous precedent and is censorship of free speech and legitimate national debate. The thing is, Talk Radio are a bit of a joke when they come out with segments such as, should Doctor Who be played by a man again? Should other stuff, wokeness will intensify in 2021. Who cares about this stuff generally? Honestly, it's quite sad, to be honest. Talk Radio itself. But at the same time, I don't think, unless you can point to the exact statement that they said, which was contradictory to the expert's advice, YouTube are in the wrong here, unless they can say specifically which video it was, the offending statement, and give them a copyright strike based on that. What's the point of this? I don't understand. Code bans. Talk Radio has about 424,000 listeners, according to the latest figures from market research provider Raja. It uses YouTube as a means to live stream its shows from its studios and provide an archive of past broadcasts. Its channel on the platform has 240,000 subscribers, so it's not the biggest channel in the world. So it's very strange that YouTube had banned this channel and then completely reinstated it very quickly. YouTube's actions had meant that Talk Radio's website had featured articles featuring broken embedded clips for most of the day, and that users had shared its clips would have been unable to view them. So if you embed a clip onto another website, those videos were taken down as well. The US firm has previously imposed a permanent ban against conspiracy theorist David Icke, and a one-video suspension of right-wing outlet One America News Network's ability to push new clips in both cases of breach of its COVID law. So realistically here, they should just been hit with a strike and said, look, this is the specific reason why we've given you the strike, but YouTube decided to take the channel down. It's pretty clear, so this is from James Clayton, it's pretty clear something has gone wrong at YouTube in the last 24 hours. It appeared as though Talk Radio had been banned for good on YouTube, or terminated, as the company put it. YouTube is now saying it was a short suspension, but they're lying here, and it definitely does seem like a backtrack. Even now, it's not obvious what the offering material even now, it's not obvious what the offending material was that caused this action. The whole action reinforces the idea that YouTube's moderation policies where it draws the line between freedom of expression and clamping down on misinformation can be messy and inconsistent. Absolutely, and that's the reason why they have such vague rules, so they can strike anyone they want. That's the way YouTube is. That's why the way all these social media companies are now, the big ones, where they can give you a strike for no reason. They can shadow ban you for no reason. They can demonetize you for basically no reason because their rules are so vague. And so the thing that I really want YouTube and the other companies to do is be very transparent with their policy. So say for example, if I said something that was misinformation, I don't want to say it because I know YouTube will strike me for it potentially. But if I did say something that was misinformation, YouTube should alert me, give me a strike, and give me an exact reason as to why my video has been flagged. But they don't do that because it's full of bots, it's full of AI, and that's the problem. The algorithm, everything, so many things about YouTube are flawed to the point where they flag things for no reason. They don't give you a reason why it's been flagged. But and when YouTube takes such going back to the article, when YouTube takes such action without giving full details, it rains controversy down on its head. This plays to a broader movement by YouTube and other social media companies to take a hard line on disinformation. Joe Biden is about to become US president, and he wants social media companies to do more to remove fake news. But they are increasingly finding out, refereeing their own platforms can be hugely difficult, and this highlights the need for greater transparency about moderation decisions. And what they need is more people, more actual human beings to work at these workplaces and to reach out to content creators and say, look, what you've put out here is a bit dodgy. Where did you get this information from? And if it's from a reliable source, then issue solved. If it's not, then you can strike them, you can warn them, you can do stuff like that. But the way YouTube do it at the moment is strike first, resolve issue maybe 90 days later, maybe never. So yeah, it's ridiculous to be honest. Yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna leave it there. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you think? Well, I can't tell you why Talk Radio were banned. What I can tell you is they are a bit of a joke. They're typical right wing radio station, which is boring. But yeah, I'm gonna leave it there. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one.